Welcome back to the streets of Mordheim. In today's battle report, we roll for one of the most brutal scenarios, street fight. The only way out, either force the enemy to make a rout or break through the lines and escape to the other side of the board. And let me tell you, this turned out to be one of the most bloodiest clashes we ever seen in over 20 years of playing Mordheim. But before we dive headfirst into the action, I noticed that about 80% of you who watches these battles haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying the content and want to keep seeing more, please consider subscribing and give this video a like. It would really help us make this channel grow and make better battle reports and other stuff for you guys. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the fight. Today, the witch hunter warband known as the Pure steps into the streets of Mordheim. Led by the fierce Captain Shlag, these 12 stalwart men are on a mission to cleanse the city of darkness. Their target? None other than the Eternal Light, a twisted band of undead and other sinister creatures, commanded by the relentless vampire Valarius Darkbane. The Pure are the first to deploy, positioning their men with precision. Crossbowmen take up high ground, ready to rain bolts down from above, while the rest prepare for a bloody ground battle. The fighters on the ground split into two groups, while Captain Shlag leads the witch hunters up a watchtower, stationing another in the ruins of an old tower. They are taking no chances. Every angle is covered and the stage is set for a fierce confrontation. Valarius Darkbane wasn't born yesterday, quite literally. He's well past his 215th year, and this long life, undead existence has gifted him with tactical prowess. He directs his minions with calculated precision, ensuring they stay out of range of those deadly crossbows for as long as possible. In the next round, the witch hunters make some tactical adjustments, advancing cautiously down the street while keeping well within the protective range of their crossbows. Sensing trouble, Valarius guides his brain-dead followers to the nearest building, using its walls as a shield against the barrage of bolts he knows is coming. And the bolts fly. 3 of the witch hunters spot a few zombies and a couple of dregs through the open windows and doors. They release the tension of the crossbows, unleashing deadly bolts toward the undead targets. Captain Shlag and one of the witch hunters fires first, but both shots miss their marks. The lone witch hunter in the tower takes his shot. The bolt flies through the air, but he too misses. This time, Sigmar's luck seems to have deserted them. Valarius Darkbane realizes he can't hold his horde back any longer. He drives them into the street, urging them forward toward the faint shapes of their prey lurking in the mist ahead. His thirst for blood is unstoppable. They moan, howl and make other guttural sounds as they move forward. The wall of zombies is a sight that could unnerve even the most god-fearing of men. The witch hunter captain spots the undead horde advancing toward them. Captain Shlag fires first, aiming at the necromancer. He needs a 5 or higher to hit, but his shot misses. Then a witch hunter lets a bolt fly toward the vampire. It strikes true, but lacks the force needed to cause any real damage. Next, the witch hunter positioned in the tower takes his turn. He also sends a bolt toward the necromancer, but his shots misses the mark. Finally, the Bold, the witch hunter stationed at the base of the watchtower by his captain, spots a zombie. He fires off a bolt, but it goes wide, missing its target. The Eternal Light feels the shadowy favor of the darkest force, as none of the bolts find their mark. Emboldened by this ominous luck, they press forward with a resolve even the blackest heart would admire. Now, the hour of retaliation has arrived. All the 3 dregs and the necromancer have moved within range, ready with their short bows and dark spells. First up, the necromancer casts the spell of doom on Captain Shlag, needing a 9 or higher, but he fails. Then, one of the dregs, Gregor, fires his short bow at the witch hunter captain, just missing with a needed 6. Next, Sebek, another dreg, takes his shot at the captain but also misses. Finally, Luther aims at the zealot, But those elusive sixes refuses to show themselves today. Now it's the witch hunter's turn once more. Undeterred, they continue their relentless barrage and the bolts once again fly toward their targets. First up, it's witch hunter Hertz, who sends a bolt hurling toward Gregor. The projectile soars through the air and finds its mark, burrowing deep and dealing 2 wounds. That's the end of Gregor's part in this battle. Witch hunter Volgo spots a ghoul in the distance and lets his bolt fly, but the shot misses its mark. The bolt fires again, this time aiming at the dreg, but once more the shot goes wide. Finally, Captain Shlag himself takes a shot at the necromancer. He needs a 5 on the die, but he misses as well. Valarius notices one of his dregs being shot down, and he hisses wildly at the others, urging them forward into battle. The necromancer steps forward and casts the spell of doom on the witch hunter captain once more. This time he succeeds. Captain Shlag must now roll under his strength to resist, but he fails. Luckily for him, he's only knocked down. Next, the 2 remaining dregs takes aim at Hertz, both needing a 6 to hit. But both shots misses their mark. In the recovery phase, Captain Shlag stands back up, ready to fire again. The necromancer curses, frustrated that his spells weren't more potent. Now the bold attempts a shot at Valarius, the vampire. He needs a 5 or higher, but his shot misses. Next, both Shlag and his companion take aim at Valarius. It seems they've marked him as a serious threat. The witch hunter fires first, needing a 5 or higher, but misses. Then it's Captain Shlag's turn. He needs a 4, and with a solid 6, his shot hits perfectly. Now he needs a 3 or higher to wound, and a 4 does the job. Valarius has a light armor which could save him with a roll of 6, but luck isn't on his side. Valarius loses a wound, leaving him with just 1 remaining. Next, the witch hunter in the tower aims at the ghoul, needing a 5 or higher to hit, but the shot misses. Then all hell breaks loose as the zombies charge into the group of zealots, while the vampire and the dire wolf launch an assault on another group of zealots, and the necromancer and the dregs are shooting and weaving magic. It's time to pay close attention because the dice are about to roll fast and furious. The necromancer casts the spell of doom on Captain Shlag once again, and this time it's also a success. Captain Shlag fails to resist the spell, but thanks to a roll of 1, he's only knocked down. Meanwhile, both dregs take shots at the witch hunter standing near the captain, but neither of them manage to hit. All the zombies need a 4 to hit. The first one misses, the second zombie strikes through, needing another 4 to wound, and succeeds. However, the zealot equipped with the light armor and the shield managed to save himself with a roll of 5. Zombie number 3 misses, while zombie number 4 lands a hit. The zealot tries to parry with the sword, but a 4 isn't enough. Fortunately, the zombie fails to wound. Then comes zombie number 5, who also hits, and once again the zealot fails to parry. This time the zombie finds a solid grip, scoring a critical hit. The crit deals 2 damage with no armor save, and a roll of 3 or higher will knock him out of the fight. A 6 seals his fate, sending the zealot out of the action. Now it's a dire wolf against the witch hunter's hound. The wolf has 2 attacks thanks to its charge and needs a 4 or higher to wound, but with 2 trees no damage is dealt. Finally, it's Valarius' turn to strike. He has 3 attacks and chooses to direct 2 at one zealot and 1 at the other. Needing a 3 or higher to hit, both attacks on the first zealot hits. He also wounds on 3 or higher and scores a wound. And with another 5 it sends the zealot out of action. Now it's the witch hunter's turn to strike back. First up is the zealot who escaped Valarius' attack. He has to pass a leadership test under 8 to avoid being gripped by fear, and he does so with ease. However, he needs a 4 or higher to hit, but falls short. Next, the Witch Hunter's Hound strikes back at the Dire Wolf. It needs a 3 or higher to hit, but misses. Wow, what a round for the Eternal Light. 2 of the purest warriors were taken out of action. But now, it's time for the men in brown and black to strike back. More charges are declared and crossbows are drawn and loaded once again. We start with Captain Shlag, who takes aim at the ghoul. He needs a 3 and rolls a 5. To make matters worse for the ghoul, he scores a critical hit, and a 6 seals the deal, taking the first ghoul out of action. Next, 3 quick shots come from the other witch hunters. All 3 aim at the necromancer, but he proves to be elusive, dodging every bolt that flies his way. Now come the charges. One brave zealot pushes past his fear and leaps at Valarius, passing his fear test. But his strike falls short, missing badly. With 2 opponents in close combat, Valarius lashes out. 2 attacks at the zealot who hasn't struck yet, and 1 at the other. All 3 attacks hit with deadly precision. First, we start with the zealot facing 2 attacks. Valarius lands both hits and rolls to determine the outcome. There's no doubt about the result as 2 6s appear, taking this zealot out of action. Now Valarius turns to the one who charged him. He needs a 3 or higher to wound, and a 4 seals the deal. Another 4 leaves the zealot stunned, collapsing to the ground. Before diving into the other charges, we wrap up the dogfight. The Witch Hunter's Hound strikes first, as the Undead Wolf has lower initiative. It needs a 3 or higher to hit, and a 6 lands perfectly. Another 3 or higher is needed to wound, and it delivers. Finally, a 6 seals the Dire Wolf's fate, bringing it down for good. Next, a zealot and a priest prepare to charge into the wall of zombies. Both need to roll on 8 or lower to resist the undead fear. The zealot runs forward, but the horror holds him in its track. But the priest's unwavering faith in Sigmar steals him against the fear. He swings his club, needing a 3 to hit, which he lands. But he needs a 4 to wound, and falls short. The zombie retaliates with a swing of its decayed arm, but misses as well. Then, the zealot, already surrounded by zombies, faces his test. He needs an 8 or lower on his leadership check and passes. He swings, needing a 4 or higher to hit, but narrowly misses. The first zombie strikes back, needing a 4, but misses completely. The second zombie hits, and with a roll of 5 manages to wound the zealot. Although the zealot has a light armor and a shield, he fails to roll a 5 or 6 for his save. He ends up knocked down. The third zombie tries to finish him off, but fails to land the hit. Now it's the Eternal Knight's turn once more, and the charges are declared. Both dregs charge at the Witch Hunter Priest, while Thrug the Ghoul lunges at Captain Shlag's loyal hound. But first, the Necromancer once again attempts to cast a spell of doom on the captain. This time, however, his luck fails him. The dreg's charge reaches its target, and Luther swings his sword, needing a 4 to hit. And he lands it. He needs another 4 to wound, and this time it's a critical hit. The critical deals 2 wounds with no armor save, plus an additional 2 to the injury roll. When a final 4 appears, the priest is taken out of action. Now it's the ghoul's turn. With 2 attacks, he needs a 4 or higher to hit, and he lands both. Both the hits dealing 2 wounds. With the highest roll showing a 4, the hound is left stunned. Next up is the vampire. With a single stunned zealot lying at his feet, he automatically takes him out of action. Now, 3 zombies stand looming over the fallen zealot from the last round, only needing to hit him to take him out of action. They all close in, tearing him to pieces. Now, it's the Witch Hunter's turn. With so many losses, they now have to start making a rout test each round. They need an 8 or lower, and they pass. They are still in the fight. The last remaining zealot retreats toward the tower where the captain and the others are positioned, while the hound recovers from being stunned to now only knocked down. Next is the Witch Hunter in the tower's turn. He fires a bolt at the necromancer, landing a hit with a roll of 5. Needing a 3 or higher to wound, he rolls a 6, a critical hit. The critical hit deals 2 wounds, and another 6 seals the necromancer's fate, taking him out of action. Next, the Witch Hunter in the tower fires at the dreg. He needs a 4 to hit, and he lands it. Now needing a 3 or higher to wound, a 5 adds tension to see the dreg's fate. With a roll of 3, the dreg is left stunned on the ground. Captain Shlag then raises his crossbow, aiming it at the vampire. He needs a 4 or higher to hit, and he lands it. Now he must roll a 4 or higher to wound, and another 4 wounds Valarius. The next roll could be decisive. Another 4 leaves the vampire stunned. The final action in the Witch Hunter's turn sees my ghoul needing a 4 or higher to take out the knockdown hound. It goes smoothly and the hound is taken out. In the Eternal Knight's turn, a rout test goes well, and both the vampire and one of the dregs recover from stun to knockdown. They each crawl 2 inches to press against the nearby walls, hoping to avoid more incoming shots. Meanwhile, charges have been declared. 3 of the zombies charge the zealot who have pulled back, and all 3 reach their target. First, the last standing dreg takes a shot at the Witch Hunter in the tower. He needs a 6 to hit, and frustration sets in as he fails just 1 short. Next up, the 3 zombies charge the zealot, swinging their undead arms toward him. One of them gets a hold, needing a 4 to hit, and he hits. The zealot equipped with light armor and a shield needs a 5 or 6 to save himself, but he fails. Another roll of 4 from the zombie leaves the zealot stunned to the ground. With a few fighters remaining on both sides, it's back to the Witch Hunter's turn. First, they must pass another rout test with a roll of 8 or lower, and they succeed. Next, the Witch Hunters takes aim at the standing dreg. The bolt shoots first, but misses. Captain Shlag follows, needing a 4 to hit, and a 5 lands the shot. He then needs a 3 to wound, and another 5 does the job. To cap it off, a perfect 6 takes the dreg out of the fight. Now it's time for another rout test for the Eternal Light. Once again they prove strong in death and passes the test. The vampire rises to his feet and presses against the wall, waiting for the chance to charge next round. The 2 zombies who couldn't get into the fight last round now charges the fallen zealot. All they need is a hit to take him out. A roll of 4 or higher, and they succeed. The zealot is out of action. Now, the ghoul and the zombie has rushed up to the first floor on the tower to attack the bold. They both need a 4 or higher to hit, and the ghoul lands 1 strike while the zombie also hits. They need a 4 or higher to wound. The zombie rolls a successful hit, and with a powerful 6 takes the Witch Hunter out of action. Once again the dice are rolled for a rout test, and once again the Witch Hunters hold their ground. They continue their assault on the undead. A roll of 4 to hit, 3 to wound, and a decisive 5 takes yet another foe out of action. Captain Shlag decides that he and the other Witch Hunter will charge the ghoul and the zombie below. They must pass a fair test with a roll of 8 or lower. Shlag rolls first, but fear overtakes him, and when his comrade sees this, he too is spooked, stopping short of charging into the undead. At last, it's Valarius' turn to charge Captain Shlag and drink his blood. All he needs to do first is to pass the rout test for his warband. Sometimes the dice have a mind of their own. One moment Valarius is ready to feast on the Witch Hunter captain, and the next everything falls apart on a single rout test. After all the bloodshed and battles across the board, it's tough to see the Eternal Knight fail just short of victory. But that's Mordheim. Sometimes the city itself decides your fate. Thank you for watching this rollercoaster of a game. If you enjoyed the battle report, don't forget to like and subscribe for more reports. And hopefully some redemption in the next fight. And remember, keep your blade sharp, your dice rolling, and may your warbands always find victory. Thomas, signing off.